Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's the Parent Entrepreneurs here. So what we'll be doing today is we'll be continuing our Investing with Max series. And if you guys have not watched the previous video, I highly suggest you guys go watch that now. As a disclaimer, this is just for educational purposes only. And if you're looking for professional advice, I highly suggest you guys go seek out a registered financial advisor. And if that all makes sense, let's get started. So I'm gonna go back and forth here, okay? So let's do that. I'll share my screen. All right, so hopefully you guys can see my screen here. So I'm just gonna expand this. Yeah, I'm a lot bigger. So, okay, so last week has been pretty crazy. It's been a red day, and that's why a lot of people, like I tell them that, it's gonna be a lot of volatility in the market and don't be scared. And if you are, you just have to have like a gut that is pretty strong because your investment can go down from like 20%, 30% in, in a couple days. And you just have to be kind of like weary about that. And also, like if you're looking at going long, then potentially that in March, like even last year, March was a pretty bad month for the stock investment. So you gotta really take a look into that. All right, like you have to look at past data so you can make a better decision in your future investment. Okay, so we'll just dive right in, and I'll move this around here, and you can see here this is Namaste. And what we'll be going over today, like what we did last video, was Namaste. We looked at rivers. We looked at what else? We looked at GME, so GameStop, and also AMC. So we'll really focus on those four today and just kind of like let you know how everything is doing. So, for example, Namaste, we can see here, right? So we charted this, in the last video. So we have I guess the support and resistant here. So this is the resistant, this is the support, and this I would say, from back in, you could say 2021 in January, that was its low. And we could definitely tell that this is the support and this is the resistant. And once it passed that resistant, right, from here in January 12th, you could see that it hit a new support and resistance level. So the one from the bottom here, the support and resistance, I would say this is tier one. So, and after that, it passed tier one, it went to tier two. And tier two, when it passed that, it hit another support and resistance, and it went all the way up to the third tier, right? So, and you can see here that it went here, then after that, it went to the next day on the 15th. Then after that, it broke the support. Then it tried to hold the next day, but it broke again. Then you could see that the support broke, so that you then it went down. Then so it went to tier two. Then after tier two, it went to tier one. Then you could see here that it kind of did like a V recovery, right? The next day, it did a V recovery. Then it went to the second tier, and from the second tier, it did a little bit of cup and handle there, a little bit like it did here, but then after that, it went all the way up to the new tier three, the support and resistance. Then after that, it kept on going. It didn't break the resistance, so that's why it did a pullback. And when it did a pullback, it went down again. And from there, we're just sitting here now on the middle tier, which is the tier two, on March 5th, and that was Friday, right? And you could see here, I made this kind of like a V, like not a V line, like just this trend line here. And you could see that once it bounces from here, it goes up, goes to the support resistant. Then after that, I'll try to bounce again here. So if let's say if it breaks this trend line, then it goes down to another support resistance. Then we gotta remember that, hey, maybe it might go down even further, right? So that's the trend line right there. So, and we'll see if it's gonna hold that position now next week and then following days. So that's a really important key. So if it can hold that and it can pass the resistance for Namaste on the middle level, or we could say tier two, then we hope that it can go to tier three. And let's see if we can hold that in the next couple days that is coming. So, and you got to remember this too, guys. Like, I'll move here. So this is March, right? We're going into the beginning of March and April, and we can tell from the previous March and April that it had a similar kind of patterns. And you can see here, February, January, February, the stock for Namaste or for the cannabis industry seems to go up. And when you look at March, that's when it starts to go down. March all the way. So like you can see here, this is the low for March, and it was at 20 cents, right? This lower wick here, it definitely hit the you know first support and resistance, and it bounced right the next day. It bounced, then after that it went up. And March, so it looks like March seems to be a month where it's a red month, right? March, April tries to bounce there, then it goes up, then you can see in the summertime it goes up a little bit. Okay, so we'll see if it hold for next week. And we can take a look here, the 4 hour candlestick on the left side here at the top. And you can see here that it's forming. So this is, let's say, the high, low, and let's see if it'll form a lower high and higher low in this coming month, because you can see here that this kind of like V, kind of like triangle shape, that it might we might see a tightening range. And if we see a tightening range, then we could potentially see it go up to this next level, and we'll see how the market reacts to that in the near term, right? So that's Namaste for you. And also I wanted to also show you guys what's happening in CEO.ca, because there's a lot of chatter. And for Namaste, let's take a look here. All right, so a lot of bulls and bears that are talking. So for example, I know one guy, this guy here, no cap, he talks about GTEX is green, was at 10 cents 1.5 months ago, and now it's a buck. Chip is green. There's just a couple green stocks. Don't see how those are unicorns. Fact of the matter is that this stock is a turd. It doesn't go green when the market does, but it goes red when everything else goes red. She's a loose play, right? So definitely you can tell this person is a short or doesn't like the stock. Or I don't even know if he's investing in the stock. He's probably shorting the stock because he wants it to go down. Because most of the time when people go into a trade and they talk about stock, they have probably some skin in the game. So you got to remember that, right? So yeah, just you can see here, people are saying you got to sell it, trash, blah blah blah. So he's just trashing the stock here. But so, a lot of people actually were providing great insight of Namaste. And if you're a new investor or a trader in Namaste, then there's some guys here that are been in this stock for a while, and giving some analytics and also giving some insight of what the company is all about and what they do. So that's really cool. And anyway, so that's Namaste, and we'll go to the next one. We'll look at rivers. So basically, what happened to this guy? So 3 weeks ago, when I was talking about it, they used to be called Canopy Rivers, but what happened was they changed their name to Riv Capital, and they had this big news with Canopy Growth. They were saying that they were gonna separate and they're gonna change their voting structures, because before they had this kind of like weird structures with multi subordinate like voting structures and all that stuff. So they got rid of that. So now what's happening is like Canopy Rivers at the time and also Canopy Growth, they're gonna actually like not gonna be tied in together anymore. And Riv Capital, they're gonna go to the US market more, and it's gonna be like a different play now. So we'll see how that goes. And they're not like, tied into canopy growth anymore, right? And telling them what to do and what not to do. So that's why in the past couple, I would say, weeks, you could see that it really took off. Then after that, after, February and beginning of March, it started going down because it's following the trend of the cannabis industry, cannabis sector, and you can see that here. This is the okay. You can see the support resistance, then you can see the other resistance here, right? And from there, you could already tell that it didn't break the resistance and it didn't hold it the 345 mark, right? The 345 mark, it didn't hold it. So that's why it tried a couple times, then no luck, then it went down. Right? You can see that. And you can see this trend line. Whoop, you can see this trend line from here that it kept on bouncing on the trend line. Bounce here, goes up, then bounce on the trend line here. Then if this dips, then probably we could, assume that this might even go lower to another support and resistance, which this is, I would say, like the tier one, and this would be the tier two. Okay. And also, let's take a look at, the March data from last year and see if, if they were red or if they were green. And let's take a look at that to see what we have here. So March, so you can see here, right? So seems like January they were green. Then you could actually see March talk it went lower and lower. Then after that April it kind of recovered. Then it just consolidated for like I guess few weeks, April to May. Then after that, when summer hit, it looks like a lot of traders went in, and you could see here that it kind of spiked. But that support and resistance, and we could say this is the resistance at the time, $1.62. It didn't break that, then it just bounced down to the let's say we can see here this is the dollar mark, so lower than a dollar, and we can see here I think this was at 6.54 at the lowest. And ever since then, with the U.S. play and the legalization and all that stuff, the talks, you can see here from December, right? December here, you can see here. Look at that, December here. Then January just kept on going down. So you can see here that this is a good trend line. Like if it just spikes up like that, trend line goes up like this, goes down. It did a pullback. Then we'll see if this will be able to, hold this trend line, and from there see if it goes up, and hopefully it hits the new resistance and supports and resistance. Like it can pass this, and after that it just like hovers here and consolidates, then goes up a little bit more, then that's a good sign. That's definitely bulls will see a tremendous reward for that, right? And let's double check what's happening in CEO.ca. All right, so we can see here Rivers. Yeah, they have a lot of news saying Riv Capital, formerly Capital Rivers, just filed two reports. Better documents, Riv Capital closed plan of arrangement involving canopy growth. So this is the one that I was talking about with you earlier, paving way for entry into the US market. So they really heavily want to go to the US market, which is good because, all the legality and all that stuff and the formation of the cannabis industry there, there's a lot more demand as opposed to just Canada. Okay, so yeah, do you see a lot of people talking here about the stocks and go from there? And another thing that I wanted to talk about because I was trying to buy the dip. So basically, what I did for Namaste was I sold and bought. So I made a couple $100 for Namaste. Then from there I bought back in again, and the earnings that I made for Namaste, I put it in fire, and you can see here fire, and this is Supreme Cannabis Company. And I'll show you what's happening because I charted this too because I was looking for the support and assistance as well. And basically, you could see fire, and the volume for fire is crazy. Like you could see here, let's say on wow, let's see when was this one? February and 67 million volume. So that's how many shares were traded that day. And okay, so I was gonna say you can see here February 10th, and I counted this. It's been like a couple of red days, or it's been declining ever since. So let's count it. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then kind of consolidated here 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So like basically you can take a look here like in the 30, like basically a month, right? That's been going down ever since its major spike, right? Major, I guess you could say what we always say supernova. So you can see here that it just kept on going up. So this was the peak of the supernova. So the first red day, and after that first red day, it just kept on going down and down. So what I did was like, okay, I'm looking at the charting here, and I could see that this is the support and resistance, right? So this was its top uh, in the last few months, because you can see here that it used to be trading at like $2 or $3 before, right? So you look at how far it went down, right? So that's insane. But anyway, you can see that's trading really low right now. And I was like, okay, so if that's the case, and it's been going down, ever since like 33 days, why not buy in, right? So you can see here that it hit so on, which one was this? On March 5th. Let me just scroll here. March 5th and March. Oh, this is still March 5th. So this is 4 hour. So let's see, March 5th. This is, yeah, this is you can see here, the wick here. So let me double check. I guess because we were doing the 4 hour candlestick. So let me see how many days it was. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 days basically, right? Ever since the red day, the first red day, and it just kept on going down. So we could say it's not 33 days. Sorry about that. It's actually how much again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 days. So 17 days that this stock has been going down, right? So what I did actually was I bought it on Thursday, right? So this Thursday was the 4th. And make sure, yeah, the 4th of Thursday, I bought it here. And I knew that I was gonna do a dip buy. And from there, I could have bought it Friday, but I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'll just buy it on Thursday and see how it goes. And you can see here that it even went lower. So on Thursday or on Friday, it went down to $21, 21.5. So basically 21 cents and a half, right? And on Thursday, I bought it at 25.5, and the lowest was 25. I guess 25 cents, and the highest 27 cents, right? So I'm looking at that over here on the left side here at the top. So definitely, yeah. So I did buy this, so I'm gonna see what's gonna happen the next few days. If it goes down to the next here, like let's say to the next support and resistance, then we might even see it go down to, let's say, 12 cents, 12 and a half cents. But we'll see if this will kind of bounce back and see if it can consolidate and tighten out this range. And if it does, you might see a new higher high. And if not, then I might have to cut my losses, right? So we'll see how it goes from there. So rivers, oh no, sorry, fire. So this is the supreme cannabis. So I did a dip buy on this one, and we'll see how that goes if it's gonna bounce. And we can see supreme cannabis. You know, a lot of people are excited indeed, talking about it's amazing. So at least three of the strains, genetic coming soon. So basically, supreme cannabis is more of like the high end cannabis in the space, so which is really cool. So that's their differentiator in terms of the other, I guess you could say, other LPs, licensed producers, right? So far, and also let's look at AMC. So AMC, look at AMC. It is looking, it looks, you can see here, it looks like it's doing a cup and handle here, right? You can go here, up, and then downward drifts or shifts. Then it goes up, and we'll go here. So we'll see how that goes, because you could see the, where was this one here? On January 27th, that was the peak of when the hype was, right? Then it did a gap down the next day, and it kind of recovered and it went up. Then it did another, it kind of like consolidated, I could say here. Like it I want to say that it this level here, the support and resistance, like it maintained this, right? So the day here, it maintained it. Then after that, it did a gap down. And from there, from this support and resistance, then it broke it, then it went down here, so it maintained this support. Then after that, you go up to, let's say this is tier 1, it goes up to tier 2, right? Then it broke the resistance, then now it's hovering at this level, tier 2. So we'll see how it goes, because if this breaks again, this support, then it might go to the tier 1 again, the tier level. Like we have to really keep an eye on that, or it might just consolidate, right? Who knows? But like from past data, usually March or April, that's the time when stocks seems to go down. Not sure why, but that's very true to the cannabis space, right? So that's that for AMC, and we'll see how that will have what's gonna happen next week. And let's see GameStop. Look at how crazy this is. Up, right? Look at that wick. It's so crazy just to see that. Then did a gap down, and from there, it recovered a little bit, but it's a red day, right? Then after that, it's just hovering here, and we'll see if this continuation will keep going. So maybe it'll just go higher high and higher high. In the 4 hour candlestick, maybe we'll see this keep going up and hit the new higher high, because it did form the, let's say, this is the high, low, lower high, higher low, and we'll see if it's just gonna keep consolidating, and eventually if it does break one way or the other, if it goes up and down, then that's the volatility that we're looking for, right? So we'll go from there. And also, let's take a look what's going on with GameStop on WSB, Wall Street Bets, right? So we can go here, fundamentals, wheat stock. Let's look at Wall Street Bets. The place that I like looking at is if you go to the filter by Flare and you go to YOLO, you go to gains. Those are the things that I like the best. And we can see here what are your moves tomorrow, March 8th. So this is what people are talking about in Wall Street Bets. But anyway, let's take a look at here, and let's go to gains. I love looking at the gains one. They're always so interesting to see. And we can sort it. Then here you can see new, hot, top, and let's go hot right now. What's going on with hot? So I accidentally bought an option. What do these numbers mean? So you can see here, oh my goodness, look at the return of that 1,563%. This guy is up 6,687. Wow. Like that's why I like looking at this game because it looks amazing just seeing these numbers, right? Like it looks ludicrous. Ludicrous. Power to the player. On the top position. All right. So this guy, big homie, he's up 69% on GameStop. So he has 130 shares. The market value of that now is 17,979, and his average cost, which is pretty good, is 81.52, and his portfolio diversity is 97.44. And today's return, as you can see here, 773 and 50 cents. So basically up 4.5%, and the total return is 7,381, and he's up 69 and 65%. And you can see here that GameStop, the last time it traded is at $1.37 and 74 cents, and you can see here the aftermarket. It was, let's say, market close March 5th, 137.74 cents. Usually it would tell you the aftermarket here, but yeah, 148.79, and you can see here the ask and bids here, right? So that's really cool. Okay, so I wonder if we should look for one more, but what I'm gonna do is I'll show you guys my investment and how it's doing now, and from there we'll look at it in the next video. All right, so let's look at this. Oh, this looks amazing. So GameStop. So this is from YH2313, 23 hours ago. Okay. So GameStop from $14 4 slash 16 cents, 4K. So he invested 4K and he's up 122K to the moon. To the moon, diamond hands. That's what he's saying. So you can see here is your position is at 10 plus, right? I think he's doing, this might be contracts that he's doing. So options. Basically, the equity is 122, right? 122K, so 430. And you can see the GameStop break even price is 17 and 90 cents. Expiration date is 14/16. Current price is 122 and 43 cents. Average cost is $3.90. So this guy is today's return. You can see 4,380, up 3.71%. So, and the total return is 100,018 and $530, and he's up 3,039%. And you can see here, congrats. Wish I wasn't. Like you see a lot of people here just talking, right? But that's amazing. What a crazy gain that is, right? Just having that total return of 118K, right? And that's so important. So important when you're investing that this is possible. This is possible, guys. All right, so I guess that's it for this video. Hope you guys learned something new, and if you guys have any questions, definitely comment down below or send us some private message. We'll definitely try to help you out. So anyway, before I leave, I'm gonna have to show you the account that we have right now. So you can see here, AMC, it's still down, 46%, almost 47. Dollarama sold that. Fire, I invested in Fire like what I was talking about, like doing a dip buy, and you can see that it's down 2.72%. So basically, it's down 0.5 cent, and that's what happens, right? When you're trading in penny stocks, like whatever percentage or how much penny goes down, like it's significant. And you can see here, Mike. So don't worry about that one, but it's up. It's up 26%. Namaste. You can see here that I'm down $839 because it was up. Then after that, I bought in, and also what happened was from here I cashed out. Then I bought back in again. Then I bought in when it was going down, so I did a dip buy, but it kept on going down and down. So you just have to realize when you do a dip buy, it can still go down, but most of the time it does recover. So that's a very important thing to remember. And also, it's March as well, where you could also see that it's going to most likely go down if it hits the support and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't maintain that support and goes down. It might even go lower, right? But for me, for Namaste, I'm definitely long on that part. I'm also long. And you can see Canopy Rivers, it's still up 146%. And we'll see how that goes there. All right. So we'll keep you guys updated on the next video and see how my stock investment is going. So if you guys have any questions, like what I said before, definitely message us. All right. Take care. See you later.